Okay, so now you're ready to do your post-process. But first, before you do your post-process, we have to determine how thick the actual material is you guys are going to be cutting. When we created this part, I just had you do a standard thickness of 0.125. Your material isn't going to be exactly an 1/8 inch thick. You're actually going to have to measure your material. To measure your material, you're going to have to get a caliper. So you're going to take your caliper. You're going to take the caliper. I have 3 different thicknesses of material I'm going to have you pick from. You're going to measure those material, and whatever measurement you come with, whatever material I give you, you're going to measure that, and you're going to set the thickness of your material to that. So let's say you pick your material, and it measures 0.215 inches. You're going to set your thickness of your material to 0.215 inches. To do that, you have to go back here to your model tab. Right now we're on our CAM tab. Go back to your model tab. Go to your extrusion. That's what it is there. Double click on extrusion. And I just set it measured, let's say 0.215. Yours are not going to measure that, but you're going to have to figure out what your measurements are by using the caliper. And we go OK. So now, this thing is set to the thickness of my actual material. I'm going to go back to my CAM tab. And now the first thing I need to do, or the next thing I should say I need to do here is, this thing's not updated now. Notice how there's red X's going through here. It's not ready. This block is set thinner. It's just not ready to go. So what I need to do is I need to regenerate it. So I'm going to go generate here. And notice how that's regenerating, and all those went away. The red X's went away. Now, if I was just selected on this one, and I click generate, it's only going to regenerate that one. So I need to make sure I'm selected to the top and generate, and I'll regenerate all these. For whatever reason, it doesn't regenerate the board. It doesn't show at least that it does. I think it's maybe it's so simple, it does it so quickly, you don't see it. But it regenerated all those. None of those have those red X's on it any longer. So that regenerated it. Now, however, if you got the piece of material that's over 0.125 thick, or one of the 2 pieces of material that's over 0.125 thick, you have one more step to do. Your one more step to do is you need to change to where you're going to take multiple passes. So, the way that that's going to happen is this. First, for your pocket and your bore, you do not need to change the depth of those, the way that those work. So, your bore is just going to go down. It's going to go all the way through, spiraling down. That's fine. For your pocket, again, it's going to spiral all the way down to the bottom, and then do your cut around. And again, honestly, we should do 2 passes for this. Now, I thought about that because it's still going to be cutting a 1/4 inch about thick, and that's probably a little bit too much. So we are going to modify your pocket. To do that, we're going to double click on it. On your pocket, everything else here is going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to change is this tab here. I showed you this little bit of preview in that last one. It says passes on it, so I can click on it. On Inventor. There we go. On the passes there, the multiple depths is what we're going to change. So we're going to go to multiple depths. And we're going to change that roughing step to 0.125. So that's an 1/8 inch step there. Let me glance here at everything else. Tolerances, all of the rest of these things I think are just fine. Actually, we are going to change this down here. The radial stock to leave, we're going to change that down to 0.0. We're going to change that down to 0. It was set to 0.02, which is going to leave a little bit extra stock around that. We really don't want to do that. We want to go just to that maximum size. We're going to go OK there. And that redoes that one. And now it's kind of hard to tell what it's done here, but what it does is it goes down to this depth, does the spiral, and it goes down a little deeper, and does the second spiral, which will clear that hole out 100%, and just nothing left of that. Next, we're going to go on to our contour. We're going to double click on, double click on the contour, and that opens up my contour. Again, on this, we're not going to change anything except for on this tab, multiple depth for passes. So we can click on it, go down to the one that says multiple depths again, and again, we're going to set that to 0.125. With that set to 0.125, the finishing step down, it doesn't have anything that like the last one did of leaving extra material on the radial amount. So that check is not made, it's stock to leave. So we're not going to change anything there. And we're just going to go that to a 0.125 depth. Finishing the step down, I don't know why that got changed there. Leave that to 0. And we're going to go OK. Okay, so now you can see on this, it ends up doing on this one. It looks like it ends up doing 3 passes, and that's okay. So it goes down to this depth, does one, goes down to this depth, does another one, and then does a final pass here on the end. So it's going to go around that thing 3 times, not a big deal. It's definitely not going to break our bit because we're doing those thinner layers going through there for thinner passes. That's it. Everything has been updated here. So now we're ready to actually export this. But possibly before we export it, let's go ahead and look through our simulation one more time just to make sure we got it. Drills that hole, comes over here to this next portion, goes down to that depth, spirals around, down to the bottom depth, spirals around, does all that. Jump over here, does one pass around, not going over my tabs. Another pass around, going over my tabs. Oh, that one does not go over my tabs either. Last one, well, that one goes up and around my tabs. So there we go. That looks great. Now, from there, we are actually ready to do the post of this. So to do that, we're going to go up here to Post Process. First thing we need to do is we need to go to where the posts are. Right now, the user is public. That's not where it's at. So to do that, we need to click on this box here. Oops, not there. We need to go here to maybe it's under Setup. No. Oh, no, it was there. Sorry, I was wrong the first time. So from here, we're going to go to our P drive. Some of you may not have access to the P drive. That's going to be a struggle. Anyway, I will think about where we're going to put that. P drive. I'm going to go to ONW. We're going to go to Student Docs. I'm going to go to CAD 3. Does not look like anything's there, but there is the file there. So we're going to go Open. Now from there, we're going to come down to this next step here. Nope, I lied, not there. Here, there we go. We're going to go to this one here. Instead of this first one, Prototrack and Conversational, we're going to come down here to the Techno CNC SS. This bottom choice there, and that's going to be our choice. We are going to click on Post. Now when we click on Post, we do have to change this to our flash drive. So you're going to save this to the USB. So we're going to go to our USB drive. What you're going to save it as, the file name. File name has to be 4 digits. Each one of you, you're going to have a number when you come to this, or you come to class for this. For the student PD, your numbers are going to start at 25 and go up to there. So 25 to 45 will be your numbers. Each one of you have a different number. If you're in just normal class, you'll be numbered the order that you're in the grade book. So anyway, my number, however, happens to be 89. So 89 is my number, and I'm going to go 00. So that's my number. First part I want you to do is you're going to number your parts, and that's going to be the last 2 digits. So 00 is my first part, and I'm going to click on Save. It takes just a second here. There you go. Comes up with this screen. This is the actual G code that Inventor has generated that will work on our machine. If you scroll down through this, it's a lot of lines long. I mean, let's scroll all the way to the bottom. That simple of a part, it takes, what does that say there? 1,974 lines of code to do that. Luckily, you didn't have to type all that in. Inventor did that for you. So again, that would have just been saved to your flash drive. We really don't need to do anything else for that. Besides now, pull out your flash drive, take it over to the router table, and you're going to insert it into the router table and load up your code. Again, you have to know what number you are, whether you're number 25 or number 26 or 27, whatever it may be, and look for your part 00 and upload it. If for some reason you have an error with this and there's something wrong with it, it doesn't work, it doesn't do something right, you'll be told go back to the drawing board, do this again, and the next one, the second one you export, is going to be your number, say 2501. Second one you do, the third one you do is going to be 2502, and so on and so forth. Each one you do, I want you to go up one number in the number that you export. So the first 2 digits, again, are going to stay the same. The other digits are going to be how many different files you export. All right. Good luck and have fun.